Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the 2021 edition of the Westlake High School Demon Marching Band. The band is under the direction of Mrs. Hillary Patrick and Mr. Joe Fidel. The band officers are President Sophia Needham, Vice President Sidney Stokes, Secretary Alyssa Boucher, Treasurer Dave Cobb. Demonette captains are Samantha Heatherly and Emma Klima. Debonair captains are Andy Curtis, Victoria Monte, and Emma York. Demon fans, it's time for a Westlake fight song. Stand up and cheer. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2021 Westlake High School Rose Arch. Coming in first this evening, Mason Cruzy and Anusha Mangalore. Mason is not available this evening. Maggie Keenan and Alyssa Boucher. Gavin Ditz and Kylie Roman. Ryan Forshee and Emily Bednar. KJ Mueller and Sam Henry. Mana Aroma and Eddie Hunter. Bashir Al-Rahmani and Anna Williams. Montaz Diaz-Martinez and Alyssa Thomas. Taki Sarapoulos and Aaron Moore. Lucas Sanchez and Anna Hennessy. Vinny Trauer and Sarah Wagner. Shine will sing out and may begin. Scott Goggin and Julia Floyd. And now to the Westlake High School homecoming court. Luke Bilski and Corinne Wilson. Luke is a member of the National Honor Society, a participant in Academic Challenge, a member of the Spanish Club, National Spanish Honor Society, Best Buddies, and is Vice President of the Student Council. In his free time, Rhett enjoys cooking for his friends and family. Rhett hopes to attend Carnegie Mellon. Corinne is the president of both Chorale and Drama Club, and she is the secretary of the Women's Ensemble. She is a member of the lacrosse team and the swim team. She takes part in the National Honor Society and National Latin Honor Society. In her free time, she likes to play piano, take naps, hike, hammock. After graduation, Corinne plans to study music education. Julia Coleman and Anna Curtis. Julia is the Abat Club Vice President and a Jack and Jill Organization Executive Board member. Julia also plays varsity basketball and varsity tennis. In his spare time, Jay is interested in fashion and enjoys listening to music and watching movies. Julia is hoping to attend Morehouse College and major in psychology. I'm sorry. I screwed up with another. Anne is a member of both the lacrosse and diving teams. Anne is also a two-year captain of the Debonaires. She is a member of the Environmental Club and the National Honor Society. Anne likes to play with her dogs, watch movies, take naps, hike and hammock. Anne plans to study environmental science with a minor in chemistry in college. Ivan Zaholski and Sia Medici. Ivan is a member of the cross-country, basketball, and baseball teams. He's also a member of the Frisbee Club and SABD. His hobbies include hiking, fishing, traveling, and watching Cleveland sports. Ivan plans to attend college after graduation. Sia is the vice president of the class of 2022. She is a member of the golf, volleyball, and swim teams. She is also part of many clubs like National English Honor Society, National French Honor Society, French Club, Key Club, Best Buddies, Model UN, and Tech Dance. Sia has been an Indian classical dancer for 12 years. Her hobbies include reading, listening to music, sketching, hanging out with family and friends, and playing with her dogs. She plans to study architecture and urban planning and is looking at the University of Cincinnati, Cooper Union Advancement of Science and Art, and School of Architecture. Congratulations to all the homecoming candidates and the U.S. Arts members. The 2021 Westlake High School homecoming queen and king are Corinne Wilson and Julia Coleman. applause for the playing of the Westlake High School alma mater. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand or remove your hats for the flying of the Star Spangled Banner under the direction of the Westlake High School Assistant Director of Extra Music, Mr. Joe Fagala. Good evening, football fans. Board of Education Executive Vice President Joe Brown is here to review our positions. The superintendent Scott Johnson and the athletic council at Westlake High School said that he could do a cordial welcome to St. John's Stadium, home of Demon Pride. Tonight's game is brought to you by University Hospitals and St. James Medical Center, the sole provider for all Demon athletics, sports, injury, leagues. Westlake High School and Bay High School are members of the Ohio High School Athletic Association and the Great Lakes Conference and abide by the rules and regulations set forth by the association to maintain high standards of good sportsmanship. Both teams welcome our fans to the 71st game in this battle of the Little Brown Jug. The all-time series is tied 34-2. In order to make tonight's contest as enjoyable as possible, please represent your school and community in a positive and respectful manner. Please show respect and courtesy for your fellow fans, the officials, the coaches, and the players. Please remember to respect the game. The official assigned for tonight's game have been selected in the side. According to procedures adopted by the Ohio High School Athletic Association, tonight's officials are referee Tom Hook and Judge John Gilbert. Umpire Marlo Sands, linesman Cedric McMahon, and line judge Troy Bryant. Umpire is Mike Humphrey. Sorry about that, Mike Humphrey. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a round of applause for Westlake's #1 fan and my main man, Chad. The Demons are here to get a victory in the renewed rivalry. The Demons are here to get a victory for homecoming. The Demons are here to defend this house. Welcome your Westlake's Demons football team. to you by St. John's Medical Center and the University Hospital. They are proud to partner with WHS High School to provide athletic training services and sports medicine to our Demon athletes. For more than 30 years, St. John's Medical Center has served the Westlake community as your healthcare provider. A reminder to all Westlake fans, please find a seat and cheer on the Demons. Please keep the front fence clear so that all may view the game. Thank you for your cooperation. A reminder, the Westlake Board of Education has declared its buildings and grounds no smoking areas. Your cooperation in maintaining these policies is greatly appreciated. Demon fans, remember to root loud for the Demons and stay positive. Demon Nation, please welcome our 2021 football cheerleaders. Mariah Banner, Elizabeth Taylor, Katie Cole, Adriana Kendall, Anna Kendall, Isabel Ma, Mia McMillan, Nasha Fagade, Sidney Sullivan, Jordan Trotter, Sarah Wagner, and Lucia Zupak. The cheerleaders are coached by Bianca Beekman, assisted by Erica Renari and Nicole Giangassi. Will Strasky and Josh Hall.
Good evening, Westlake Demons. Here we are on WHS TV. I'm Johnny Kilroy here with Alan Wiley here for some Friday night football. We've got a homecoming game, a rivalry game. It's going to be an exciting one tonight. The Westlake Demons, 2-2, coming off a win last week versus Parma. They did not play last week. They're 2-1. Last week they suffered a hand, foot, and mouth disease and weren't able to practice all week until Thursday. Alan, what do you think the keys are for this game?
Keys for Westlake are simple. Stop the run. If you can get Bay behind the chains, I talked to Coach Loaco. He said Bay is a ground and pound type of offense. They're going to grind it out, kind of like Rhodes did a few weeks ago. They're going to try to grind it out about 3 yards in a cloud of dust. So that's Bay's style of offense.
And that's going to be the keys for Westlake as well. Their run game, it's two very strong running teams. Their main running backs on Bay Village. Howie Alt last game had 22 carries for 143 yards and 2 touchdowns. And Brendan Spellman, 16 carries for 80 yards and 1 touchdown.
Yep. Okay, well, this series is currently tied 34-2. The teams have not met in 7 years.
There's a lot more on the line tonight than just a win. The Brown
Jug, absolutely.
Kick fielded by Bauer. And he'll bring this one up to the 25-yard line before he's stopped by a few Bay Rockets.
It's going to be interesting because Bay Village High's defense, they run a 3-3 stack cover 3. And this is very interesting because they find sneaky ways to get into the backfield. Coach Laraco says that they always just try to seem to get pressure on that running attack. So Westlake's going to have to get their blocks, keep on their blocks, because if you allow Bay to shed those blocks, they're going to come right after you.
There was a question of who would start at quarterback tonight. They've got Christian Rogers here, and he'll hand off to Ostrowski. Ostrowski to the outside, and he'll be brought down for a gain of 2.
Yeah, Bay High's defense just a little bit too fast over on the outside. You know, a cover 3 defense, you can traditionally hurt them on the outside, so expect Westlake to go towards the outside and the outside linebackers on the frequent and often.
We've got Taylor in the backfield. Trips to the right here for the Demons. And a little bit of confusion on the play is Christian Rogers being forced to come off the field by the ref. And now they'll put Mackie Keenan back at the quarterback position, and Cale Cipollone will come on.
Second down.
Keenan will take it himself. Keenan will get past the line of scrimmage for 2 more yards.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy to run the ball against Bay High's defense. You got 3 down linemen and 3 linebackers. That's a very complex, I guess not complex, but it's a very hard defense to cover. Bay High's defense, they always are disguising a lot of formations, so it's going to be important for Keenan to be smart, make the right decision, and read that D.
And now Christian Rogers back on after
whoever's in.
Let's see. It's like there's going to be Demons are going to call a timeout here as they couldn't get the ball out in time.
Miscommunication. You cannot have this against this Bay High football team. Now, great job there by Bay. Like I said, they disguise their pressure a lot. You know, they're always running different kinds of formations. So you think, oh, well, they have 3 down linemen, 3 linebackers. Not too difficult. It's traditionally not. But you don't know who's coming. They could blitz a safety. They could blitz a linebacker. They could blitz a lineman. This is a perfect defense. If you're Bay, blitz Westlake a lot because the quarterbacks, whoever they may be, whether it's Keenan or Rogers, have had trouble when dealing with pressure in the backfield.
And those 3 guys you're talking about up front, Sean Anthony, Zach Stroweski, and Malachi Edgerly.
Very key players for this Bay High defense. If they don't get to the quarterbacks immediately, there's big trouble.
And off to Taylor. And he'll dive forward. It'll be a close one as Malachi Edgerly brings him down there.
Yeah, Edgerly, one of their leading tacklers. Expect to hear his name a lot. He's very maneuverable. He's very quick. He's giving offensive lines a lot of nightmares in and out of the conference. So watch out for Edgerly to make a big impact in this game.
And it was enough for the first down. We've got 1st and 10 at the 37. Will Ostrowski will line up in the slot. Christian Rogers rolling. Christian Rogers nowhere to go, and he'll be brought down at the line of scrimmage.
Great pursuit there by the Bay High defense. Rogers tried to roll out to his right to try to get away from the pressure. Sean Anthony said, not on my watch. Stopped him for no gain.
Cooper Rummel coming onto the field for Westlake. And now the different look that we haven't seen, Mackie Keenan as a receiver.
Yeah, this will be pretty interesting.
Oh, and that is just blown up there. Zach Stroweski tackles Arrington Taylor for a big loss.
Arrington Taylor just got rocked by Zach Stroweski. It's time to wake up now. If he wasn't awake then, he is now. Great job by Stroweski just blowing up that play before it got started. And Westlake is in their worst nightmare, 3rd and forever.
Only 3rd and 11.
Well, still see. 3rd and fairly long.
And Christian Rogers will give it to Ostrowski, and he's brought down again in the backfield, but penalty flags on the play.
That might be a holding call. We'll see.
4th down coming up for the Demons.
Not a flag at all. Yeah, Bay High, Westlake tried to set up a little screen to try to catch Bay off guard, but that Rocket defense is waiting on it. One thing that would worry me if I'm a Westlake fan is the quarterbacks have shown inaccuracy throwing down the field. Bay knows that. They're going to fall back into a cover 3 defense and force Keenan to do things, or Rogers to do things that they aren't comfortable doing.
And Rogers has been under a lot of pressure, and so is that offensive line of the Demons. 6'3", 6'4", and 6'1", the defensive linemen.
Yeah,
for Bay.
a lot of the teams you'll notice against Westlake have the size advantage. They're going to try to use that as much as they possibly can, especially against these guys.
Chris Campbell, the punt. And they've got Anthony Truby back deep. Or
No, I think he said Brandon Spellman.
got Brandon Spellman. Have been a key piece of the Bay Rockets this season.
Yeah, he averaged 5 yards a carry last week, had a touchdown, was part of the over 200 yards rushing for Bay High, 223 to be exact. And that's what really carries this team. They're a grinded out offense
He'll field that at the 35 before being wrapped up by Matthew Porcelli.
Charlie's all over the place on special teams. He's always wrapping up. He's always making tackles. He's a very good, just all-around athlete. That's really what you want if you're Westlake.
Porcelli, a basketball player, so he's a multi-sport athlete, and he does his job on this Demons team. And only a sophomore, so in these next coming years, he'll have a big role.
Yeah, and you see, I'm going to take a minute to mention Bay offense. Bay offense runs through Howie Alt. He's a running back. He had 143 yards last week in their win against the University School. They're going to look for him to have a big game. Westlake's going to have to stack the line of scrimmage today.
As Howie Alt powers forward for a first down there. He'll move the chains.
Yeah, if you're a Michigan fan, you'll recognize that. That's what kind of Blake Corum and Hassan Haskins do. Howie Alt is a guy. He's not only has speed, he has power. He's going to make you pay if you try to tackle him. Let's hope if you're a Westlake that you don't get too intimidated by him. But Howie Alt is definitely a force to be reckoned with.
Howie Alt is going to be a guy you could see at a big name school in the next couple of years.
Oh, absolutely.
They've got Jace Knapp, the quarterback, under center. And off to Alt. Alt slices up the middle before being brought down by Taylor. Gain of 7 on the play.
One thing you'll notice about this Bay offense is they're very quick. You know, we talk about how they're a ground and pound. This is not your ordinary 3 yards in a cloud of dust offense. This is an offense that likes to get big chunks on the ground, lull you to sleep, and then do a play action over your head. Westlake's got to make sure that you're not caught on your heels with those play actions, because if you are, those are big plays waiting to happen for Bay.
We had Jace Knapp last week only had 1 completion for 18 yards. But let's see what he does here on 2nd and 5. And they'll hand it off to Alt again, up the middle, and he'll be brought down after the first down marker. Gets 6 on the play. Yeah, nice blocking by the offensive line. They're able to hold this Westlake defense up. One thing you'll notice about Bay is they're very offensive line is they're heavy and they're quick. You know the old saying, bigger, faster, stronger. Bay High is going to look to exert that strength over Westlake defensive front, and really has done a great job pushing them back early on. And that offensive line for Bay, you've got Sam Haneke, Trevor Prudo, Parker Lake, Calvin Good, and Sean Anthony again. Oh, we got a flag. It looks like somebody jumped there. Yeah, somebody jumped the gun. And that'll move Bay back another 5 yards. Bay High's got to stay in front of the sticks. You know, one thing that Coach Larocco talked about was they got to keep Bay behind the sticks. Bay High just gave Westlake's defense a free 5 yards there. You can't expect to do that and win the game. You know, that's just not how it works. You know, that's what happened to Bay a few weeks ago against Lakewood. And if they're not careful, that's what's going to happen to them this week. 1st and 15 here at the 47, Westlake territory. Expect a run here to Altman. Little pitch to Altman. Altman stumbles, and Altman is knocked up by Cale Cipollone. He'll get 6 yards on the play. Yeah, Alt got the carry there. Cipollone doing a nice job of slowing him up. He got stumbled at the line. That kind of helped the defense catch up a little bit. It was, I believe, Taylor that got the initial hit. He and Cipollone doing a nice job of cleaning that play up before it could really get anywhere close to a first down. Yeah, that little misstep by Howie, and Bay Village is going to call a timeout here. One thing that's worth noting is Westlake's defense, when a running game gets going against them, they can't
really stop it. So if Bay High gets off on the right foot, gets about 5-6 yards every play, there's no reason, in my opinion, that they can't have their way with the Westlake defense. On the other side, if Westlake keeps wrapping up like they've been doing in the past couple of games, Bay High is going to have to go through the air. And as you said, Knapp only had one completion, so he doesn't pass it that much. If you want to take Bay out of their comfort zone, force him to throw. Because I'm telling you right now, it doesn't seem like Knapp can beat you with his arm.
Yes, last week Bay beat West Geauga 24-17, as well as University Schools, and both of those games, no touchdowns were thrown over the air.
Well, I mean, that just shows you right there. Bay High does not like throwing throwing a lot of passes. If you can force them to do that, Westlake's going to have a chance. Cipollone came off the field a little hobbly. You hope he's okay. Hopefully it's just a little cramping.
Theo Cipollone also missed the first game of the season with an injury. He's just been getting back into his stride, so it's unfortunate to see him go down like that. And off to Powie. Powie on the outside. Powie gets to the edge. He's got a couple guys to beat, but he'll be brought down at the 5-yard line. A huge run by Powie, 35 yards.
Yeah, just great job by the offensive line, sealing off that edge for Holly to run through. He got big yardage. That's about 30-plus yards. And if Westlake didn't go up and tackle him, that would have been a touchdown for sure. Bay High has some athletes with a capital A on their offense. Westlake's got to be aware of that.
And
that was Rummel that made him.
Powie, an extremely fast player. When he gets to the edge, and there's no one down there, there's no chance you're going to catch up to him.
Yeah, and that's why Bay's running game has been so successful, is because they have the combination of power and speed, and that's the coach's dream. If you got a good running game, not only that, you got a good line, you got a good runner.
Powie. And he'll rumble into the end zone for a touchdown.
Well, Bay just moved that ball down the field as easy. Well, it looked like they were practicing there. Westlake's defense just got too little push up front. Bay High's offensive line got their feet set. They pushed that defensive line backwards. If Bay can keep doing that, Westlake's going to be in for a long homecoming.
Powie Alt just took that ball the entire way himself, about 60 yards. So
yeah,
that is going to be a problem for the Demons that they're going to have to adjust to.
They're getting flashbacks to Davion Floyd a couple weeks ago.
That was Cooper Mendelo, the kicker. He's been decent so far this season.
He has. I'd like to give a quick shout out here to the Westlake Homecoming Court. Congratulations to all of you. They were honored in the pregame ceremonies around 15-20 minutes ago. So
the Westlake Rose Arch and the Westlake Homecoming Court.
Yep,
we haven't figured out who will be the homecoming king and queen yet, but your candidates for king are Rhett Bilski, Jay Coleman, and Ivan Daholski. And for the girls, they have Anna Curtis, Corinne Wilson, and Sia Bavici.
Yep.
So best of luck to all of them.
Yes, absolutely. Westlake's offense has moved the ball a little bit, but they were pushed back eventually. So if Westlake gets down by 14 to 17 points, they're going to be in a tough position because nor Keenan or Rogers has shown that they can do much with their arms. So Westlake's going to have to establish that running game with Taylor and Ostrowski.
Cooper Mendelo will kick off here. And it'll take one bounce before Josh Bauer fields it at the 5. stiff arms a man, but Bauer's tripped up at the 15-yard line.
Yeah, Bauer just could not get anything going. Got what he could, but it's upended fairly hard there at the 15. That's a good tone setter for that Bay High defense.
Bay High's defense, their safeties, Finn Fitzgerald and Charles Rice. Their linebackers, Brendan Spellman again, Anthony Truby, Jack McClay, Pat Lehan, and Howie Alt. Yes. Darrington Taylor will fight for some yardage, but not much there.
Yeah, this is really a big test for Westlake, and all due respect to Parma and Warrensville Heights, but Bay, seems a little bit better. Bay's always been a pretty decent team, especially in the last few years. They made a deep run to the state semifinals, and really they've had countless players come into their program and come out really great. Maybe not great, but very good, definitely players. So something to keep an eye on.
Little jet sweep to Ostrowski and flag in the backfield. He was close to the first down there.
Yeah, but that might be coming back. Westlake had a flag in the backfield. That's usually in the area of holding.
This will march Westlake back 10 yards. And these are the things that, as Westlake, you cannot do. This is a winnable game for Westlake. If they execute, if they minimize their mistakes and capitalize on Bay's mistakes.
Yeah, really. I mean, Westlake just shot themselves in the foot there because Ostrowski would have had at least a third and less than a yard. But no, you're going to have a second down and long, exactly what Westlake doesn't want, because Bay knows exactly what you're going to do. Westlake is a very one-dimensional team.
Hand off to Taylor, and Taylor will get about 12 yards on the play. He'll be short of the first down, giving some Westlake Demons some life there.
Yeah, nice job there by Taylor. He got past the original line of scrimmage, makes it a third down and more manageable. Bay High just got held up too much up front, and Taylor made the most of it.
Third down and 2 at the 26. They've got Taylor in the backfield, Ostrowski in the slot. And, a little trickery by Westlake, and they mess it up, and Bay Village is going to fall on it.
Yeah, Westlake tried a little bit of trickery there, but that backfired right in their faces. Great job by the Bay High defense with a heads-up play, falling on the ball, and they're inside Westlake's 30, maybe at the 25. So Bay is exactly where they want to be. Uncle Mo is on the side of the men wearing blue and gold, the Bay Village Rockets.
They tried to do a little double reversal there. Flags flying. This could be unsportsmanlike or something. But saying the little trickery, the little double reversal there, they just couldn't hand off the ball cleanly, and Brendan Spellman was able to fall on that one. But that really just shows the pressure that Bay Rockets defensive line just puts on that offensive line.
Yeah, and they really, like I said, they can seal their pressure. They disguise their defenses so well that the quarterback does not know what's coming next. On a 3rd and 2, they tried a little trickery.
Yeah, that was the cornerback who came down and got the ball there.
Yeah. Well, first impressions, really, the game could not have started off better if you're Bay High. They got the congestion that they needed. The edges, for the most part, with the exception of a couple plays, have been normally sealed off by that Bay High defense. Not only are they big, but they're very fast. Westlake's going to have to contend with that. And if Westlake's not careful, Bay can easily overwhelm them. What do you think?
I 100% agree with you. It's going to be a tough task tonight for Mustafa Assad, Andrew Palka, Robbie Huber, Sam Prexta, and Michael Wood. That Westlake offensive line there. They're under a lot of pressure, and we've seen it so far. Bay will take over here on the 20-yard line. Howie Alt not in the backfield, but they've got Spellman, as well as their fullback, Jake McClear, who does a great job blocking, one of the unsung heroes.
Yes.
They give it to Spellman. Spellman will get about 5 on the play.
Yeah, Spellman's your typical downhill runner. Remember Earl Campbell back in the late 70s? Well, that's kind of what he is. He's a little probably faster than Campbell was, but he wants to go down that hill, and he wants to make those tacklers pay a price. So that's going to really wear Westlake out if they're not careful. And we talk about the pressure. This is the most pressure that Westlake's O-line is going to see probably since Rhodes, and we all know how that ended up. So it's going to be a very interesting matchup.
And Bay Village here will line up 7 defenders, so you know a run play's coming here.
Yeah,
they hand it off to Spellman. And he's brought down at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, the first real good defensive penetration that Westlake's had this game. Nice job by that defense, using their speed to their advantage. They got to Spellman before he could get going, and he had nothing for him except to go down.
3rd and 5 here. Let's see if the Demons can make a stop. They've been iffy thus far.
Maybe expect to play action here.
J-snap under center. 2 in the backfield. And they'll give it to McCleary, and McCleary will get a first down there.
Well, I was wrong. Bay High is just as we got some whistles after the play.
And that was a little bit of trickery there. Everyone expecting it to go to Brendan Spellman, not expecting the handoff to the fullback McCleary, who doesn't often see carries.
No, he doesn't. He's more of your blocker type of back. But McCleary, as we can see, can run.
Ooh.
As we got somebody
And we have
down.
Andrew Dominion down on the play.
Ooh, that's the last thing you need. Well,
30. Number 5 is
Yeah.
number 5, Angel Dominion, is not getting up. You hate to see it. We do hate to see it. Yeah, he's the big anchor on the defensive line. You hate to see somebody like that go down hard like that. Hopefully he can come back in the game, but it's kind of sad to see.
Ooh, it does not look good. Angel Dominion very slow to hobble off.
Yeah.
First and goal at the 9-yard line for Bay.
Well, they're going to hand it right either. Bay High is just getting exactly what they want, 5-6 yards of carry.
Little pitch to Spellman. And the ball is out, but it looks like Bay is going to fall on it.
Yeah. Bay High just dodged the bullet. Spellman, you got to be a little bit tighter with those hands, or else Westlake is going to try to strip the ball away from you. That's Westlake's defense specialty, is turnovers. If Bay High does not, tuck that ball like they're supposed to do, Westlake's going to come up with something.
That was Ben Grugine, excuse me. Ben Grugine, big part of the Demons offense, a senior. He's only been in the program for 3 years, but
he's made a big impact.
Sure has.
Grugine's been all over the place this season. Expect him to get a good college offer somewhere.
And they put in Andrew Kalka in for Angel Dominion. Hand off to Spellman again, and the ball is out. And the Demons are going to fall on it. That's Josh Bauer with the fumble recovery, and that's just what the Demons needed.
Absolutely. Spellman, again, like we said, you can't keep your hands loose on that football. You got to carry it like a football, not a loaf of bread. Spellman fumbled the ball, and Bauer was right there to pick it up, and Westlake gets exactly what the doctor ordered for him.
Brandon Spellman, 2 fumbles in a row there. And that's the problem for Bay.
It is. You might want to consider handing off to McClearly a little bit more. Spellman seems to be having a little bit of a case of a butterfingers.
They decide to not use all of that possession, and here's the handoff to Taylor. And he is just going to be pushed back there. Gets to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, that was it. Bay's defense is having their way with this Westlake O-line. Westlake's going to have to do a better job, like I said, at least holding up that front for a little bit, because Bay is just having their way. And if that keeps happening, Westlake's winning streak's about to come to an end if that keeps happening.
1st and 7 here at the 6-yard line. Let's see how Westlake operates this deep within their own territory. Hasn't been their best strength so far this season.
No, it hasn't.
And off to Ostrowski. And Ostrowski is just blown up at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, this Bay defensive line, like we said, they're very athletic. Ostrowski had nowhere to go. Like we said, this is probably the toughest defense Westlake has faced yet, with the exception of Rhodes and North Royalton. But Bay High is proving that they're no slouch. They're a perennial playoff team, as Coach Floracco said. They made a run to the semifinals a few years back, and they're looking to do the same thing, if not go farther this year.
They have been a Division III powerhouse the last 3 years.
Yes, they have.
Okay. And hand off to Porcelli. He'll be shy of the first down. They'll move the chains.
Yeah, that will move the change. Where referees gave him a little bit of a generous spot there, but nice job by Porcelli, stretching out, get what he could, and gives Westlake a desperately needed fresh set of downs.
Hand it off to Ostrowski. Ostrowski will get about 4 yards.
And that's okay on first down. Westlake and Bay have two very similar offenses. They're run first, pass later. Ostrowski and Taylor, like we said, if you haven't watched Westlake, they're going to get a bunch of the carries this game. So it's very important that they get 3, 4, 5 yards on first down this first half, just to wear Bay's defense down so that they can get bigger chunks in the second.
And up to Porcelli. Porcelli breaks the tackle. Get a yard on the play. It looked like he was going to get brought down for a loss there by Patrick Lehane with the initial penetration, but
yeah, nice job by Porcelli getting something there. He got a positive yard out of what could have been a negative yard. So, it's not always the running backs that get 20 yards of play. It's the running backs that can get something, get 2 yards instead of a loss of 2 yards. That's going to pay dividends. It may not seem like it now, but that will pay dividends later. If
Ostrowski will get the first down. Ostrowski, he's got nobody in front of him. He's at the 30, the 20, the 10. Touchdown, Demons.
Will Ostrowski, College Scouts, take notice, 77 yards. Great run by Ostrowski, gives Westlake a spark that they desperately needed. A fumble turning into a touchdown. When Bay High fumbled that ball, you could kind of sense the momentum shift, and it really just shifted right there. Ostrowski, with a big hole to run through, he made the most of it. It's 6 points for Westlake.
That jet sweep to Ostrowski has been working wonders so far that season. He gets to the edge, gets a block, and there was nobody in front of him.
Yep.
Al-Ramahi.
He's been perfect on extra points so far.
And that one is
that
good.
Will stay that way. Well, that's a big swing there because Bay High could easily be up right now 14-0. But Westlake instead is tied it up at 7. You look at, changing moments in these types of games, and this could be one of them. Bay High, Spellman's got to be kicking himself because he has a touchdown in reach, but he just fumbled the ball, and all of a sudden, instead of 14-0, it's 7-7. It's a whole new ball game.
And like we talked about earlier, the mistakes that Westlake has to capitalize on in order to win this game.
Yep. Yeah, the mistakes. Bay made a mistake. Westlake capitalized with a punishing drive down the field. Really asserted their will. And if you're Westlake, that's what you got to do. If you want to move to 3-2, that's what you got to do. And they did just that.
Westlake here will bring out the special teams unit. Adonis Shelby, Harrison Rummel, Sam White, Jason Eason, Malik Musa, Liam Shields, Matthew Porcelli, Sam White. And you're our Mahi here. Who do you kick it to?
I don't know. I mean, I think he's a very smart player. He's going to know where to perfectly. Oh, here we go.
We've got Spellman, Alt, and Anthony Truly back to take the kick.
Kick it away from Holt. If you kick it to him, he's going to burn you with his speed. Kick it away from Howie Alt.
They line up Howie Alt in the middle. Short little kick will take a bounce at the 20 before being fielded by Spellman, and Spellman with a nice little return there to get 10 extra yards.
Yeah, Spellman there didn't have to do much because of that short kick. He did a nice job of getting 10 extra yards, and this is a big series for Westlake because if you allow Bay to drive down and score again, that momentum that you just gained is going to be lost. I have to stand Spellman or Alt, whoever it may be, up at the line of scrimmage immediately. Get Bay behind the sticks because they don't play well when they're behind the sticks. But if you let them get 4 or 5 yards of play, you're in for a long night.
Interesting call here. The ref spots the ball at the 40, an extra 10 yards. Let's see what they're going to discuss here. Mark him at the 30 here. All right. 38 seconds to go left in the first quarter.
Yeah, Bay's going to have the final possession here in the first.
And, yeah, I totally agree with what you just said, Alan. All that momentum that was shifting Westlake's way. Bay marches down the field right here. That could totally kill it, especially after losing a couple key players here on your defensive line.
Yep.
As they hand it off to Howie. Howie is brought down by Arrington Taylor at the line of scrimmage.
Taylor's going to have to step up with the injury to Dominion.
Flags.
We got flags, yeah. Something.
Flags fly after the play was already over.
Yeah. Yeah, a rivalry game, sometimes you can have a little scuffle or two, so players are going to have to make sure to keep it cool as long as they can.
Yeah, it's a personal foul there.
Oh, that's a free 15 yards. Well, we said how Bay did not want to give Westlake free yards. That's the same thing for Westlake. A personal foul gives Bay an automatic first down on what would have been a second down and 10. Like I said, I mean, those are little things, but they'll pay dividends in the end. So believe me, that was a very careless penalty taken by Westlake.
Westlake's defensive front here. They've got Kareem Sadiq, Kalka, and Amir Abdel Hadi. And they also bring down Keenan. Now they've got a four-man front, which we haven't seen too much this season.
No, we haven't. Something I think LaRocca is going to use to try to stop this running game.
5, as a matter of fact. And Howie Alt is brought down by Mackie Keenan. He'll get about 3 yards on the play.
Yeah, nice job there by Mackie. Alt's a very fast player. Keenan did a great job getting there quickly, and Alt had nowhere to go except down at that situation as we have the end of the first quarter.
We're all tied up here at the end of the first.
Yep.
Hey, Shotgun, there's some donuts over there if you guys want some. There's some donuts, there's some apples that are like, you know, stuff. There's like donuts and stuff, man. Lost it.
Which the students participated in the state game class of 2020. Hall of Fame Dr. G. Bishop. History teacher, football coach, and mentor to many student athletes class of 2020 Hall of Fame Carl. Lisa G. 1952 World State Women's Champion 200 free. Still holds record for Westlake swimming 2021 Hall of Fame.
All right, here we go. We flip the field here as Bay Rockets will make begin their offensive series here. We got 2nd and 8 at the 49. They fake the handoff to Alt. Knapp rolling, and Knapp is going to squeak it through the window, but Edgerly will drop that one.
Yeah, it was an incomplete pass. Like I said, Bay High is going to do a lot of those play-action passes. Knapp just had to get rid of it. Their great pressure there by the Westlake defense forces a 3rd and long or 3rd and medium. So this really is not what Bay wants to do. They want to be in 3rd and 3 or shorter. They don't want to be in 3rd and 5 or longer, and they're on a 3rd down and 8.
Great coverage by the Demons. As Knapp squeaks it through a little window, but that hard hit, Edgerly was unable to hang on to that one.
Yeah, and if you're Knapp, you don't want to really throw it through those little windows because if you do, those can easily be picked off. So he's got to make better decisions.
Almost a hospital pass.
Yeah.
Knapp rolling. Knapp fires to the sideline, and that is through the hands. That's Finn Fitzgerald.
Yeah, Fitzgerald's got to come up with that one. 14, he had it right in his hands, but just couldn't hang on to it. And now Westlake did exactly what they need. And now it's a punt.
And you can see why Bay likes to run the ball so much. They've got hands of butter, some of those guys.
Yeah, a lot of the passes that Knapp has thrown have been a little bit off. So either he's a little rusty or that's just how he is. If that's just how he is, Bay High is going to have to run it about 4 or 5 yards a pop if you want any chance in this game.
Strowski and Bauer back. This one will bounce out of bounds at the 20-yard line.
Now, it's imperative, I think, that Westlake at least gets a few first downs here because your offense is in a rhythm. You got to get your offense going as much as you possibly can because if Westlake's offense is going, that means their defense is going because they build off of that momentum. If Westlake can come down here and get another score here, it's going to be 14-7. You got the momentum completely on Westlake's side, and that's how the defense likes to play. When they build off the energy, they are very much of a force to be reckoned with.
Another stop for the Demons. If they can capitalize this into another score, that can be huge for the momentum as they hand it off to Taylor. Taylor will get about 6 on the play.
Yeah, Taylor, like I said, your traditional downhill runner. I compared one of Bay's running backs to Earl Campbell. That's kind of who Taylor is. He's more of an Earl Campbell, Walter Payton type of guy. He likes to drag people around, and that's good because once you hand it off to Taylor, he's a punisher. He's a punishing runner.
205 Arrington Taylor. So
yes, he is. And
he can drag people around with him.
Right. Wears people out, and then that gives room for Ostrowski to do his thing.
They fake the handoff to Taylor, and Christian Rogers will keep it. And it looks like he'll get the first down there.
I believe he did, yes.
Christian Rogers with a little spin move.
Yeah, a little read option there play by Rogers. He saw that Taylor was well covered on the handoffs, so he faked it and held it and pulled it himself. He's got a very high football IQ, does Rogers. If he sees a hole and he knows the best decision is to keep it, he's going to keep it and get some positive yardage.
Fake it to Arrington Taylor, and they give it to Ostrowski. Ostrowski will get about 3 or 4 on the play.
Yeah, Ostrowski just trying to get what he can get. The offensive line is pushing a little bit better, but Bay High is still having their way. Westlake's going to have to, like I said, use your speed to your advantage. They might be big, but if you get Ostrowski or Taylor into space, then there's really nobody to stop them, so it's going to be big.
Shotgun formation. Hand it off to Taylor. And Taylor will rumble through there, and he'll get a first down.
Just rumbling through tacklers and getting that first down. That's exactly what Arrington Taylor does. He's not a guy that's going to burn you with his big plays, but he's a guy that's going to grind it out and tire you out. Bay High, if you want to stop him, you're going to have to wrap him up before he gets going, because if he gets some speed and power behind him, good luck.
That's what Westlake needs to do. A couple handoffs to Taylor. Big guy, get a few yards, and then that huge run with Ostrowski, because we've seen tonight Taylor's a much bigger guy, and he's been more successful against this big Bay defense. A miscommunication there as Rogers is swarmed and brought down by number 6. We do not have his number.
Yeah, 6 there just blew up that offensive line. Rogers, it was a broken play from the start. The best thing he could do was go down, and Westlake gets negative yardage.
We've seen that before, miscommunications on the handoffs. Rogers facing one way and the running back running the other. So
yep,
that's something that the Demons are going to need to clean up.
Yeah, I mean, because those kill drives. Those kinds of losses of yardage plays, they kill drives. Westlake's known that for a long time because that's what's been happening. I like the discipline on the team, but you also got to have correct communication. If you don't have that, you're not too good, as we got Taylor with the handoff.
Yep. And we had a fumble right there. It was hard to see it happen. Hard to tell, but
I think Bay has it.
Yeah, Bay does have the ball. Arrington Taylor on the run there, and he just got knocked up in traffic. He was just swarmed, and he's pulling up here. He's got an injury as well.
Yeah, Taylor got hit hard, and if we got a signal, let's see who it is.
And let's see if Bay can swing the momentum back in their favor here with a touchdown now inside Demon territory. That's what they're certainly looking to do.
Yeah, exactly. Bay High got exactly what the doctor ordered, just like Westlake did a few plays ago. Taylor's got to do a better job hanging on that ball. If you don't, you're going to be in for a long night.
And up to Spellman, and Spellman breaks a few tackles, but he'll get back to the line of scrimmage in game 2, and late flags fly again.
Yeah, this is getting ridiculous. The players have to be more disciplined. You're only hurting yourselves. You're not hurting the other team. So, this rivalry game, I get, you want to have some clean scuffles a little bit, but there's a fine line between scuffling and just full on being stupid.
Let's see who they give it to.
Yeah, it was Bay that committed the penalty.
Both teams getting a little bit chippy, but I think one of the keys for Westlake, if they can stay disciplined and they can let Bay be the chippy team and they can be the good guys, that can play hugely in their favor.
Yeah, it can. It's the same thing both ways, really. I mean, both teams, you got to stop, getting in each other's face. You can do that in the plays when the play's going on. You don't have to do it after the play. I get it's a rivalry. I get you're chirping at each other, but you don't have to come to blows.
2nd and 20. Got Powie in the backfield. Truly in motion. Jet sweep to Truly. Truly will bust up the sideline. Truly is pushed out of bounds by Amir Abdelhadi, who gained 20 yards on the play and a first down.
Taste of Westlake's own medicine. You saw Westlake do the jet sweep to Ostrowski. Bay took a leaf out of Westlake's book, did the same thing to Truly, and it was almost as successful. 20-yard gain and a fresh set of downs for the Rockets.
And got 1st and 10 here at the 44. You can see with Bay stacking their line as much as they do, Westlake has to stack it as well.
Yeah.
And here goes Powie. And Powie will get another first down. Powie averaging about 9 yards a carry.
Yeah, he's a very quick runner. He's also very powerful. Bay High is built on strength. And Howie all did a great job of just making something out of nothing and getting a really close to a first down. I believe they're going to mark him a yard short, but this is exactly what Bay wants to do. They want to rush it down your throat.
They'll move the chains for Powie. You can see they bring their tight end to block. They bring their receivers to block. They got everybody blocking.
If you're not running, you're blocking is Blaze's kind of philosophy, and it really works. It does. They're an old-fashioned smash-mouth football team running it right at the defense, and it really does pay dividends for them later. So Westlake's going to have to stop that run.
Choose time off the clock as well. 8:28 to go here. Left in the first half. A little bit of confusion in the play with the referees as we'll get set here. 2 receivers for Bay. 2 in the backfield. They'll hand it off to Powie. Powie again will make a couple moves and he'll get about 7 on the play.
Yeah, he's just getting big hunks of yardage on the play. He made nice move, very maneuverable guy, kind of like Ostrowski is. Actually, pretty much exactly how Ostrowski is built and how Ostrowski is. 7-yard gain. You got a 2nd and short if you're Bay High. Once more.
A lot of pressure on these Westlake defensive backs as Powie's just able to pummel through that first line of defense each time, and it's been down to that second line of defense to bring them down.
Yeah, it is. And if you're Westlake, you can't let your DBs keep making tackles. They're all going to get worn out, and then Bay High is just going to do whatever the heck they want to.
They hand it off to Spellman. excuse me, that was the fullback, Jake Cleary.
Yeah, that was McCleary that took the handoff, and he was in the fullback. He just powered his way for a first down. McCleary is a very powerful fullback. You know, he's more of a blocker, but he can run too. If you let him get into space, he's fairly dangerous. So McCleary, also a fullback you need to watch out for because he's your typical short yardage back.
And that's some trickery by Bay there. You can see McCleary. He lines up every play in the same spot. He'll block 9 times out of 10, and then that one time they give it to him, and it's been successful thus far.
Yeah, and you don't know when he's going to get it. So Westlake's defense is on their heels.
They give it to Powie. Powie will get about 5 yards on the play.
Yeah, all got it inside the 10-yard line there. Westlake's defensive line is just being manhandled up front. If you want to stop this rushing attack, you're going to have your way with the Bay's offensive line. In the trenches now, Bay is winning and thus has an opportunity to score another touchdown and really change the complexion of this game.
2nd and goal at the 5 here. We can expect a run from Bay.
Yeah.
It's all down to how this Westlake defensive front can stop it. Without Angel Jaminian, that is a huge damper on an already tough task.
Yeah, and it's getting even tougher with the loss of Jaminian.
And Howie will rumble in there for his 2nd touchdown of the evening.
Yeah, Howie Alt, you said you might be playing at a big-time school. I think I agree with you there. Great job just carving through that Westlake defense like a hot knife through butter. He got in for a touchdown, and all of a sudden, Bay is on top. This is going to be a game of momentum shifts. It's going to be who has the ball last and or who makes the last mistake.
With a game like this, ground and pound, run the ball, it's all just going to come down to time of possession.
Yes, it is, and so far, Bay is winning. That's kind of why they're winning this football game right now.
Cooper Mendola will stick it through the uprights, and he'll even it out to 14.
Well, and you know what? I'm sorry.
I was just going to say Westlake Demons down by 7, 6:24 to go.
Yeah, and you know what this kind of does? Not only does this kind of wear out the defense, it kind of wears out the whole football team because a lot of these guys are playing both sides of the ball. If Bay High keeps just ground and pounding right up the middle, Westlake has no resistance. The offense is going to be in a tough spot too because they're tired from playing defense. So Bay High is having their way with Westlake. Westlake's going to have to put some points up on the board if they want to keep up because Bay shows no signs of stopping.
Got this kickoff return unit for Westlake. Ben Brugine, Matthew Porcelli, Andrew Palka, Jason Mason, Harrison Rummel, Ryan Eddy as well, and Robbie Huber. And let's see what they're doing here. Could this be a little bit of trickery from Bay?
Yeah, Bay High's student section, a very rowdy bunch. So, you got the Westlake and Bay, two heated rivals, not that far apart. They used to play every year, and they're probably going to with this new conference realignment.
Very rowdy fans on both sides. It is a packed house here, almost a full stadium on both sides of the stands.
Well, if you're Westlake, just do what you've been doing. Hand it to Taylor, hand it to Ostrowski. Because, Bay has shown no signs of being able to stop your offense. At the same time, if you're Westlake's defense, you got to start tightening up a little bit. But the offense, you're doing exactly what you need to do. Hand it to Ostrowski, hand it to Taylor, let them go to work.
They'll kick that one through, and Westlake will start at the 20-yard line. You've got 1st and 10 here. Hand it off to Porcelli. Porcelli is able to get about 2 yards on the play.
Yeah, and Matt Porcelli is kind of like Ostrowski. When he gets into space, he's quick. But when you wrap him up, I don't want to say he's done, but he's in a very tough position. Able to fall forward. That's one thing he always does. He always falls forward for positive yardage. Able to get 2 yards there.
Porcelli's who they're going to have to rely on as their power back here if Arrington Taylor is still out for the rest of the game. And they throw it into flat to Rummel. And Rummel breaks a few tackles to get back to the line of scrimmage and gets 3 more.
Thing is Bay knows that Westlake doesn't throw the ball deep, so they're going to have all their defenders stacked up at the line of scrimmage. That's why we've been having so little success up front. Bay's lineman has just been overpowering on Westlake's Huber and Palka and just getting to that, whoever's got the ball, the receiver there was Rummel, and getting him for minimal gain. Now you got a 3rd and 5.
And hand it off to Porcelli. Porcelli's going to be stopped short of the first down marker there. 4th down coming up.
Yeah, Bay High's defense is gumming up that middle. Porcelli tried to go right into it, had very little success, and now you got a 4th down. And once again, Bay High's got a golden opportunity. If I'm Bay, I'm going for the throat right now. Don't fumble, and you'll be okay.
And I think you go for it if you're Westlake, and they're going to keep the guys out in the field. And that's exactly what they're going to do. 4th and inches.
You got to be disciplined if you're Bay. This could just be a play, or they could just want to play.
Hand off to Porcelli. And Porcelli, it is going to be close. You can see that initial penetration from Brandon Spellman, but
yeah, they're just letting
him.
Yeah, they're just letting Bay go right through that line, and it will be a 1st down. But Bay's defensive line is just going right through the Westlake offensive line like it's nothing. You got to tighten up if you're the O-line, because without the O-line, your offense is screwed.
Yeah, and you can see every play, at least one Bay player flying through that line.
Yeah.
It's just a question, can you dodge him or not? As they hand it off to Ostrowski. Ostrowski will dive forward. He'll get about 7 on the play.
Yeah, Ostrowski, like we said, he's like Porcelli. They always fall forward. Ostrowski getting a couple extra yards out of what could have been just a 4 or 5 yard gain to 6 or 7. Now it's a 2nd down and short, and Westlake is taking the air out of the ball right now.
They've got Cooper Rummel near side, Jason Eason far side. Ostrowski in the slot. They hand it off to Porcelli. And Porcelli, it looks like he'll get the 1st down.
Yeah, Porcelli just works his way forward. He's one of those workhorse backs. If you get it to him, he's going to produce, and it looks like he does have the 1st down, and Westlake just keeps on grounded and pounded, just like Bay does. This is going to be a very run-heavy game. If you like passing offenses, you can just watch the Big 12 tomorrow. But if you like the ground and pound, old-fashioned football, stay tuned, because we got more coming up for you.
Little reversal to Ostrowski. Ostrowski, he's got some space, makes a move on Altman, and he'll get about 5 yards in the play. That could have been blown up, but Ostrowski, great job there.
Yeah, just pure athleticism was shown by Ostrowski. Westlake tried another reverse play, but this time it worked. Great job there by Ostrowski, making a man miss in the backfield and getting a nice 5 yard gain. That's exactly what Westlake wants to do. They want to wear down this Bay defense. Bay's defense is very big. If you can wear them down, you're going to have some big success.
Ostrowski tried to go right there. Great job turning around to go left. They hand it off to Porcelli.
Did he get it?
It'll be 3rd down and 6.
Yeah, Porcelli just got stopped right up